So I've just read chapter 7 of The Last of the Jedi, The Desperate Mission. So we do pick up with Obi-Wan and Trevor going off to the medical clinic. And Trevor did do what he said he might do, which was abandon Obi-Wan. We get to see a bit of how Obi-Wan is adjusting to going on a mission again, and how it's familiar but different. how back in the old days he used to be able to contact the Jedi Order, be able to get the information and help he needed in the temple, and now he has to be really careful with the Empire and stuff. And so it's interesting to see how he's managing. Of course, as I said, Trevor did eventually abandon him once Obi-Wan mind tricks his way into the medical clinic. So, yeah. And Obi-Wan, of course, he's under the disguise of laundry duty, and then he swaps into some medical tunics for that the doctors usually wear in there. And he eventually finds, what was it, Rhone lands? Yeah, Rhone lands, or lands, I can't remember. But he eventually finds that room, and he says that Dr. Anton requested me for a consult on one of the prisoners, and then the stormtroopers ask for the identification docs, and then Dr. Anton appears, and it gets a bit tense. You think she's going to say, "Well, no, I didn't order for anyone," but no, she did order for Dr. Merkin, and that's not who Obi-Wan's identifying as, but it just so happened to be coincidentally coming as was Dr. Merkin, so and she believes Obi-Wan is Dr. Merkin, who is apparently a part of the 11, which I do find funny because there's a Doctor Who character called the 11 in the Big Finish audios. But he apparently assume the 11 is a kind of little rebellious group on Belasa. Could be wrong though, but I think it is. I think it is a rebellious group. We get a bit of information on what's going on with Rome from Dr. Anton, who again believes Obi-Wan is either serving the Imperials, but also seems to be, I think then she gets convinced he's part of the 11, but at first she thinks he's probably part of the garrison. And tells him, "Look, I don't know what's wrong with Roan. I've tried everything, I can't get a diagnosis. I don't know what's wrong with him." And keep on, she's in the really sick bay thing, so he's living there with all the really sick people. And we learn that Roan is dying, unfortunately. Poor Roan. But we learn that she can't find a diagnosis. She's tried everything, and without being told what was administered to him, she can't do anything. Eventually, what happens? There was a commotion. There we go. Just checked. And this is our first introduction to Malorum, Head Inquisitor Malorum, who's just referred to as an Inquisitor in this stage of the book. I know he gets referred to as Head Inquisitor later on, same with Hydra, but yeah. And we get, and I personally have not, I was aware of Malorum and Hydra and Slankor being in these books, but I wasn't aware of what their characters were, what they were like as characters. And Malorum, he's very calm, he's very soft-spoken, that's what he's described as, he's calm and soft-spoken. And you can kind of tell that he enjoys the authority. And kind of enjoys having that control over people. That's what I'm getting from him, at least. And Dr. Anton hides Obi-Wan in a cocoon in the... That's literally as it's described in the book, in a cocoon in the clinic. But Malorum has a confrontation with talking about the 11, how she's treating someone from the 11, how she's under suspicion, I think. And he's threatening to close down her clinic, and Dr. Anton holds her own against Malorum, and she's scared, she's also angry, and she's putting up her own, she's holding her own against Malorum, and it's quite impressive to watch, actually. And he even threatens her son. Eventually, Malorum does leave. And we find out he was there because they heard of someone suspicious entering the clinic. And they believe it was Ferris only, and of course we know it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but she says it's Dr. Merkin, he's gone now. And Malorum's suspicious, and he says there was no record of him leaving, and Anton says, check your records, recheck them, he's left. And then of course once Malorum has gone, he threatens Anton that she'll be hearing from them, and he leaves. And she says to Obi-Wan that they need to get Roan out. They got to take him to Obi-Wan's warehouse, and Obi-Wan has absolutely no idea what's going on and what this 11 is. But she assumes that Obi-Wan is part of the 11 once Malorum gets involved, so... Poor Obi-Wan. It's kind of working out for him, but also there is so much going on that I think he's a bit... Okay, what's going on here? It very much feels as if it's working out for him, but he's just as lost at the same time. We can't figure it completely out. So poor Obi-Wan. He's in quite the pickle. But again, I enjoyed this chapter. I know we're going to be seeing Trevor again because he appears in the future books, and there was a significant character in the other ones. So I know we'll be seeing Trevor again. But yeah, I do. Funnily enough, I didn't expect Malorum to get so close to Obi-Wan. Of course, they don't meet each other, but they are in the same room. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be more Ferrus and Malorum, rather than Malorum ever even coming close to Obi-Wan. But yeah, that was quite a surprise. Again, we find out Malorum's still looking for Ferrus. So yeah, again, I enjoyed the chapter. I enjoyed it. So yeah, bye.